just wanted to tell you in person that we won't be going forward with filming the show anymore.
Tonight, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, one of the longest running reality television shows in the country, coming to an end. 20 seasons, 268 episodes over the last 14 years, and the numbers are impressive, but not as impressive as these numbers. The Kardashian-Jenner family now worth more than $2 billion. Kim Kardashian and Kylie Jenner both named billionaires by Forbes in recent years. The other sisters also worth tens of millions of dollars each. But tonight, the family is saying so long to the reality show that made them a household name.
That's it, we're done.
Back where it all began, the hit reality show Keeping Up with the Kardashians hit airwaves back in October 2007, changing the definition of celebrity and leaving a lasting mark on pop culture.
This family's really crazy.
But that's what kept viewers coming back week after week, tuning in for 20 seasons to get a glimpse of what life is like for the famous blended family.
My diamond earring came off in the ocean and it's gone. And there's people that are dying.
The hit E! reality show kept viewers in 90 countries coming back year after year. According to reports, the Kardashians' last deal with the network, inked back in 2017, was for a reported $100 million.
Kendall, you have to think about what you're asking for because money doesn't grow on trees.
Yes, it does. It's paper.
The show launched the family into stardom. When it started in 2007, Kylie, the youngest of the Kardashian-Jenners, was just 11 years old. In 2019, Forbes dubbed her the world's youngest self-made billionaire.
Hey guys, this is my purple palette.
And just 2 months ago, Kim Kardashian landed on Forbes' billionaire list.
Let's talk about Skims.
All of the sisters have branched out to start their own brands and are worth tens of millions of dollars. Their successes, failures, embarrassing moments, and everything in between, all documented for the world to see.
We didn't think anyone would be into watching a show about our crazy family.
And now the Kardashian crew is saying goodbye.
I just want you to know that I really appreciate you guys, each and every one of you.
At least for now. Elizabeth Wegmeister is joining us from Variety. Elizabeth, it's soon going to be a lot harder to keep up with the Kardashians. 20 seasons, it is a long time. So how's the family feeling about this whole chapter coming to an end?
You know, I think they're feeling pretty good, partly because they are actually moving to Hulu for a new content deal. So this is a huge deal that they're leaving E! Because, as you said, it's been 20 seasons, actually 38 seasons if you count all of the spin-offs they've done, more than 400 episodes. You know, you can say what you want about the Kardashians, love them or hate them. They have built a business empire, and they've really revolutionized pop culture and the reality television landscape. So this is a big deal that they're leaving E!, but it won't be too hard to keep up with them.
What can you tell us about the Hulu deal?
You know, I have to be honest, there really has not been much of any information that's been released, but I do hear that the content is supposed to launch later this year. It seems like it will probably be pretty similar content to what we saw, so a family docuseries, but they haven't even made that announcement. The deal was made with Kris, Kim, Kourtney, Khloe, and Kendall and Kylie. I had to think of all the names. So we will see the regular players over at Hulu.
So you mentioned this, the show and the brand have been just a huge cash cow. Walk us through some of the numbers in terms of money made off the family and off the show.
Yes, so first of all, as for how much money the family made off of the show, the last deal that they inked with E! was back in 2017. That was a reported $100 million, according to various sources that I've spoken to over the years. They could have stopped this show a long time ago. They didn't need it. They wanted to continue to do it, but they obviously have various streams of incomes from all of their different businesses.
They have a lot of side hustles, the family does. So there will be 2 reunions, as I understand. What are you hearing about what we can expect?
Yes, so this is actually the first time that the family's ever gotten together for an on-screen reunion. In 20 seasons, they've never done it. They will be sitting down with Andy Cohen, and the network just released some promos, and even for them, it looks dramatic. They do appear to touch on subjects that they've never really talked about before. Andy Cohen, if you know anything about him in the housewife reunions, he really holds nothing back. And he asked about Caitlyn Jenner and if Kris has ever forgiven her. So they'll talk about that. They talk about Kourtney and Scott's breakups.
Before I let you go, do you think that this family, given how much they've been in the spotlight, has any regrets about anything that has happened?
Kris Jenner is honestly one of the smartest people that I've ever spoken to. She's incredibly business savvy, and they kind of hold on to this no regrets mentality. And I think that's why the show was so successful. I think they really put it all out there. They didn't hold much of anything back. But I do think when you hit on the lack of privacy, that is a big concern. We all remember a few years back, Kim was actually robbed at gunpoint in Paris, and that's very scary. So even though they've made a ton of money, they're rich, they're famous, again, people love them, they hate them. When you think about it, they can't walk out their door anywhere in the world.
Elizabeth, always great to talk to you. Thank you.
You too. Thanks for having me.
Like 2 million people watching each of those episodes. By the way, you will be able to watch the 2 reunion episodes we were talking about starting next week, and then you'll have to wait until the end of the year to keep up with the Kardashians and the family on Hulu.